What if I told you we hit a 1.8 million annualized run rate from influencer marketing and partnerships alone, and the entire strategy boiled down to one framework, the Dream 100 framework, which I'm going to explain today. My name is Arjun. I'm the founder and CEO of Doola.com, a business in a box for e-commerce that's raised over $13 million of venture capital. And I'm going to share with you the Dream 100 framework, which is the exact playbook we followed to 6x our influencer marketing and partnerships revenue in 1 year. You can see the image right here. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you're probably feeling the same thing I felt over the course of this past year, which is that traditional marketing channels are so saturated. Gone are the days where you can just put a Facebook ad live and see 6x or 12x ROAS off the gate. Gone are the days where you can create a basic listicle, stuffing keywords on Google and seeing crazy ROI from that. Traditional channels are so saturated and those playbooks just don't seem to work. It's something I've heard from so many founders. But more so than ever, especially in a day or age when AI content creation is going through the roof and there's so much more content being created, influencers are a channel I believe are only going to get bigger. And really what this comes down to is you can call them an influencer, but really what they're doing is they have trust with an audience. So yes, they can influence that audience. So I wouldn't even look at it in a negative light, but I really do believe that going forward, partnerships and influencer marketing partnerships are going to be so critical for every single brand, whether you're a D2C brand or a B2B software company. So I was sitting in this position, and here's the other thing too. Whether you've started to ramp an influencer marketing or partnerships program or you haven't, at the time I thought, how does this work? Sometimes a partnership would go well. Other times it felt like they were asking for a sponsorship payment and we were throwing money into the ether or into a black hole. And everything just felt like it was a waste of time. That's candidly how it felt. But then something changed. We went from, again, doing about 30,000 per month to now over 150K per month from influencer marketing and partnerships. And we did this in 1 year, and I think it's only going to get bigger from here. So I'm going to break down exactly how we did it. The playbook is called the Dream 100 framework, and it's how you can actually create a repeatable process to grow your business through a highly scalable channel called influencer marketing or partnerships. Let's dive in. The first step of the framework is called the Dream 100. Now, it's called the framework, and that's the first step, but it's that for a reason because this is the sauce. The sauce is, if you think about your product, and this is actually the first step. So many people don't take this step to actually think. Think about your product and think about who your ideal customer is. Okay, now you as a business or company can go out and try to acquire that company or customer directly. Now I say customer or company because your company might be trying to acquire customers, so you're D2C, or you might be trying to acquire businesses. You're a business to a business. In either case though, actually take some time to sit down and write out who is your ideal customer. Now, you can try to build, and I actually advise you do this, your own media or marketing engine to acquire those customers. But there's a much easier way to do it. Your customer is already subscribed or following or hanging out somewhere else. And that somewhere else is in the lists or audiences of the top 100 influencers in the space. So what that means is based on your ideal customer, they are likely already subscribing to a YouTube influencer who creates content for them. They are probably already subscribing to a newsletter, or they watch a TV show, or a podcast, or they go to an event. The Dream 100 is the top 100 people, communities, courses, podcasts. Think of them as mediums. They're the top 100 mediums where your ideal customer is already hanging out. So you're probably getting this, but the easier way now to go and capture and acquire your ideal customer isn't actually trying to acquire them directly. It's partnering or working with the top 100, the Dream 100. And if you partner with them, you have access now to their entire audience. So let's say there's 1 million people in your audience. Instead of going and stacking them up one by one, instead, you can get your top 100 partners. Let's keep this really simple. Let's say in your entire target audience, there are 1 million customers that you're trying to go and hunt. Now, you could go ahead and try to have 1 million conversations and try to market to 1 million different people, or you just partner with your Dream 100. And assuming, make it very simple, the Dream 100 each has 10,000 people. 10,000 people follow this newsletter, 10,000 people follow this YouTube channel, 10,000 people go to this event. 100 times 10,000 equals 1 million. So you've simplified the game. Now instead of having to close 1 million one-on-one sales, you just need to close 100 partnerships. 100 partnerships or influencer marketing collaborations, and all of a sudden, you have your entire customer acquisition engine solved for. So that's actually the first step of the framework. It's go through, and you have to sit down and take the time. I know as an entrepreneur, you're on your task list, you're thinking next action, but seriously, block a few hours of time, grab a notebook, grab a pen and paper, whatever you prefer, and actually think through who are the top 100 sources, places, people, mediums where my customers already are. That is your Dream 100 list. Okay, so that's step 1 of the framework. Step 2 of the framework is value-based outreach. One of the best lines I ever heard is, to be good at sales, you need to be good at 2 things. You need to be likable. People like to do business with people they like. And you need to be valuable. So the biggest mistake we made is we were likable. People liked Doola, but we weren't valuable. We were so cheap with our commissions. We started with just a flat $100 commission, which, truth be told, for a lot of our partners, $100 was nothing. It's not even worth them getting out of bed. For them, they have thousands of dollars already coming in from other revenue streams. So you have to reach out with value in mind. Now, this might sound scary when I say it, but here's my recommendation. If you're starting out your program from scratch, do a 50% commission. Now, again, that might sound really scary. Wait, if we give a 50% commission, where's the money for us? Ideally, your margins are greater than 50%, so you're not losing money initially. If your margins are less than that, then yeah, you're going to be losing money up front. So ideally, you have good margins there. However, the second piece is, if you do 50%, I love that because it shows to the influencer or partner, we're partners. Literally, we're splitting things 50-50 in the first year. So we went from offering a $100 commission to a 50% commission up to $1,500 per customer. That got people's eyes opening. They saw money or monetary opportunity with Doola, but most importantly, they liked us, they saw value in us, and they saw value in our commission offering. So that's step 2 of the framework. You have to be likable and valuable in your outreach to partners. Now, step 3 of the framework is actually doing outreach. So to summarize here, you first made your list. Now you've put together your structure or incentive. Step 3 is actually reaching out. Now, I made a dedicated video with the exact outbound email I used to get over a 20% positive reply rate. You can watch that full video. However, in this case here, you have to start doing outreach. Now, here's my recommendation for outreach. You have your Dream 100. It's a targeted hit list, which means you should hit them up in every way possible. So what I do is I like multiple touches. I'll send an email. I'll also add them on LinkedIn. I'll add them on Instagram. I'll follow them on Twitter so I can start to engage with them. And then slowly yet surely, if you're consistent in engaging and adding value, they will notice your name. Now, here's the other thing too. You might be saying, how am I going to get in touch with the biggest influencer in the space? The truth is, you're probably not going to be able to. But here's a little secret. In the Dream 100, let's say you go and reach out to everyone in the Dream 100. 99 people say no, but 1 person says yes. And look, you can get someone to say yes with a lot of hustle and providing value. It's possible. You might need to follow up 5 times, but it's possible. Once you have that 1 person, you know what you do? You go back to the other 99 and you say, hey, circling back, checking back in, we're actually working with, insert their name. You know what happens? People want to see social proof. So chances are maybe 5 people that next time around will actually say, oh, you know what? I'm interested. And slowly yet surely, as you slowly start to work with more influencers in the space, by the next time you reach out, they're going to be convinced before you've even pitched them because they're just going to think, oh, this company's already working with those other people. I might be the silly one by not working with Doola or working with your company. So step 3 is do the outreach. And again, you cannot be fazed by rejection. It's going to happen. It might take a ton of hustle to get that first person, but that's all you need. Because once you have 1, you can use that and leverage it as social proof. Okay, now step 4 of the framework is a custom attribution system. Every single partner is going to want to know how they're doing. And especially if you're giving out an affiliate commission, you're going to want a way to track this. So you should use a tool, and there's many of these tools out there. We personally use PartnerStack. You can use Impact, there's other tools, but you should use a tool so that you can create links, you can give them to your partners, and you can at least see how many clicks are coming in and how many conversions are coming in. Now, one other piece of alpha I will share here is not every single person is going to go through the link and click and purchase. So what we do is we actually have a customer self-attribution survey in our purchase flow. So that after someone's purchase, we ask, how did you hear about us? And if someone says, hey, I heard about you through this partner, we're actually able to then give credit and actually go back and say, okay, they weren't tracked originally, but we now know they came from this partner. And here's the wild thing. We've seen sometimes up to 50% more conversions come in than what's actually tracked. So that's the wild thing. Let's say you saw 5 conversions come in. You're typically going to see an additional 2 to 3 that came in that weren't tracked at all. So again, remember, you have to have some sort of tracking in place. Some tracking is better than no tracking. And I really recommend you adding this self-attribution survey. It can be a very simple survey after someone purchases, but very simply you're asking, how did you hear about us? And then have them list out exactly where they found you. Step 5 of the framework is going from one time to long time, or one time to long term. Now, the way you do this is the goal isn't just to do a one-time partnership or sponsorship and then spray and pray. The goal is to have a long-term partner. So typically what we do is we will start with one post. Now, let me also explain this here. Some influencers are not going to want to do affiliate. They're going to want to get cash up front. Other partners will actually be completely okay with having affiliate. You need to be prepared for both. Now, in an ideal world, I love affiliate because it de-risks it for you as a company. You're only paying out if a conversion comes through, right? So the conversion happens, you then split the revenue 50-50. However, a partner likely might not want to do that because they're saying, hey, what if your product doesn't convert? I have to take the time to create content, etc. So what we then sometimes do is we'll pay a sponsorship upfront, and then we'll say, hey, after you reach that amount, let's say it's $1,000 sponsorship, after you reach that amount in commissions earned, you'll then start to earn on top. So that's a really good balance. It de-risks it up front because they get their $1,000, and we're not paying out commissions until they've hit that much in revenue earned. So with that in mind, there's a third option though. Sometimes a partner really might not want to do affiliate commissions. If they want that, that's okay. You can pay a pure sponsorship up front. And here's the thing about this. If the partnership actually works, unfortunately, because if it's a capped sponsorship, let's say you pay $1,000, but the video sends in 100 conversions. Technically, the company is getting way more upside there, and the influencer is only getting a fixed 1,000. So my thought in all of this is I really want the influencer to win because I want our partners to win. If our partner's winning, and most importantly, the customer's winning, we'll have a long-term relationship. So I really like doing this combination of a sponsorship upfront, and then once you reach that much in commissions earned, you then start to earn affiliate on the back end. That way, everyone's happy. The company's not getting a win. The influencer isn't making money, and the company isn't also getting conversions. But I share that third option because sometimes a partner will not want to do affiliate at all. And if that's the case, as long as you're seeing conversions, it's actually very good for you as a company. The final thing I'll add for this last step is very tactically, what I like to do is start off with an initial post. So that could be a dedicated YouTube video and some shorts. After that initial post, we like to look and see, did we see any conversions come in? Ideally tracked, but either self-attributed as well. If we do see conversions coming in, self-attributed or tracked, and there were enough to make up for the sponsorship cost, then we like to extend to saying, hey, let's do a 3-month agreement for more content going out. And then if that works, let's go for a year-long commitment. Now, the reason I like this is because it's a bit scary to say, hey, let's jump into a 12-month commitment, because you're outlaying a lot of cash potentially and getting into something with someone who you don't know how things will do. But after that one video, if it works well, you can then extend to 3 months, try it out in 90 days. And if that works, go to 12 months. And that's exactly what we've done with some of our top performers today. Then all of a sudden, this entire playbook is highly predictable because you have a hit list of ideal partners in your Dream 100. You're putting together a valuable offer. I say 50-50, make it such a no-brainer for them. You're then reaching out with targeted messaging across platforms. You're then putting together the right attribution system and tracking so everyone's happy. And then you have a system for going from first post to 3 months or 90 days to 1 year and beyond. That is a wrap. That is exactly how we built our influencer and partnerships program to a 1.8 million revenue run rate. And here's the thing. There's no slowing down here. We have a system. And what's so exciting is once you have a taste of the success and things working, you now know exactly what you need to do. So I really hope this video was helpful. This is actually the video that I wish existed when we started. So that's why I created this. And here's the last thing. If you actually go to Doola.com, you can see exactly how our program works. You can apply for our program. I want to share the secrets. Really, there's no secret. I'm sharing it with you right now. I'll have to tell you though, the biggest trick here is actually just taking the time to think about your Dream 100, and then you've got to be persistent. There are some partners where I followed up over 20 times to get in the door. I'll actually include a screenshot right here that you can see. This is the type of persistence it takes. But once you get them in the door, you have that lighthouse customer or partner. The other ones are easier. So seriously, if you're not willing to get rejected and not do this many follow-ups, I'm not going to bet on you. But if you are, again, all you need is one person in that Dream 100, and then you can nail the full Dream 100 and build a successful influencer marketing and partnership program. That is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're looking to scale your business, you're probably focused on scaling it, influencer marketing and partnerships, my company Doola is a business in a box. We help with your formation, bookkeeping, and taxes so you can focus on what you do best while Doola handles the rest. You can head to Doola.com to schedule a demo. I hope you got value from this video. If you did, please subscribe and turn on notifications. I drop videos like this on the regular. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.